Welcome to New World Revelations. I'm your host, Matt. This is our first cast. And, well, not our first cast as in cast. I meant, like, first video cast. That was awkward. Here's our DC Marvel expert. This is Jordan. Here's our indie expert. This is Martin. And here's our token black guy, Cowboy. So,
There's an Irish before.
the comic of the week is this new indie comic. Came out in October. It's called Bedlam. So, what do you guys think about it?
Well, I like it just because it's by Image. On top of that, the new bad guy, the new villain, Matter Red, presents a new bad guy on the level of, and that can surpass, Joker. Now, I like the fact that you actually get to see in Bedlam the split personality syndrome, which you don't get to see with many other villains.
Not necessarily. You can see that split personality kind of go through. I mean, you have, what is it, the ventriloquist in Batman, who has a split personality, especially in animated series. So you do have that. And it's not necessarily a new character sort of mold. It's just kind of a different angle on it because he's kind of Sherlockian in a way. He's kind of Holmes-ish.
See, I'd agree with the Sherlockian because he's such an advanced character.
Yeah.
Especially for readers. It's been a while since we've had a villain that's this advanced, and it's right off the bat.
Advanced?
So,
like, I wouldn't say he's advanced. First of all, I hate the name Matter Red. I really do. I despise the name Matter Red. You know, if you're going to give that much influence to a character, make him sound a little bit more important. You know, I'm not trying to imagine a freaking angry crayon running around. You know,
well, what's madder than red?
I don't care.
Mauve.
See?
Apparently,
Mauve.
Mauve.
Is way better than red. Nobody likes mauve.
You know? But you know, I don't like the name, and besides that, you know, it's not a new concept. It's developed a little bit with more, you know, vocabulary and literature style. You know, somebody like Marvel expert over there should know Mr. Century and the Void. You know, it's not something new as far as the split personality and everything. It's just developed further in the way he speaks and how he delivers it. I do like his style, a little bit of that. I'd like to see a little bit more flair, a little bit more movement from the character.
Wait, you want some Ric Flair in there or something?
No, not Ric Flair, but flair.
I'm just making sure, man.
You know,
If you like Ric Flair, it's
But,
all
you know,
good.
I mean, even then, standing still, Ric Flair has movement. You know what I mean? It's just,
All over the
yeah,
place.
this guy is just kind of like he's talking, and it's and it's kind of like this dry tone.
But it's
Well,
only a one issue.
Right. And the best part is, even when he's not talking to anybody, he's always talking to himself.
Right.
And even when he's talking to himself, it's always something important to say. I've read Bedlam one time all the way through, and then I've read the preview like 2-3 times.
Wait, was the preview different from the actual first
No,
issue? Okay.
it's the actual first 27 pages of the issue. So if you don't have the time to pick it up, go to Comixology and pick up the preview.
Sponsor.
So, yeah. I think that with Matter Red, the way that he actually flows and talks to himself the entire time, it provides this level of depth where you see the different psychological levels. And that's what's really important for me with this new villain, because I feel like we're losing villains because we don't go in depth as much with our villains anymore. And if we do, they get their whole shebang and then everybody else falls to the wayside.
Yeah, we are losing several villains. I mean, recently, you haven't had Green Goblin within the Marvel universe. Well, within the Spider-Man continuity for at least a bit of time. You have Octavius is going to be dying off in 700, assumedly. And
Spoiler.
Assumedly, that's been in the news. That's not really much of a spoiler. So,
Okay, well, all these villains going, it's not really important. But you were talking about, I mean, it kind of is, but
It's
It's very
I think it's
Octavius
off
has
topic.
been around since the 60s, man.
okay, but it doesn't
gotta hate
relate.
on
It
Octavius.
doesn't really relate to Bedlam, which is what we're talking about. So
It does. It actually does relate to Bedlam
They both have
because
arms.
it's drawing more people over to these new indie comics. Yay, indie comics! So, what I say is that pick up Bedlam because of the fact that it's a good villain. Right off from the bat, you're following the villain. You're not focusing as much on the superhero because he's kind of
Just some guy.
Kind of doing the Batman thing, running around.
Yeah, he was like only in 2 panels in like, the entire book.
And every time you see him, he's got this full face mask. You really don't know who he is. He just runs in there, pummels the crap out of Matter Red, and he's like, ha ha ha. Well,
Peace.
I still win, even though you catch me.
I thought
because he's spreading his madness.
I thought it was hilarious because I was just had a flashback. I saw like Matt Red in there, and I'm like, oh shit, Candle Jack got his own comic. That is awesome.
And that's a good flashback.
That's a Freakazoid reference for you people at home that don't know it.
So you were saying that you thought he was sort of similar to Joker. Do you want to expand on that any more than you did, or are you kind of done with that?
Well, I could expand on it. With it being said that he's kind of like Joker, he's very much, for the people who have seen the Dark Knight movies, very much that kind of Joker. He's the dark, moody, brooding kind of guy. He's always plotting. He's always thinking ahead. Just that in the comic, he's actually thinking aloud. And that's what makes him so cool, because when he's not discussing it with someone else, he's discussing it with himself. And you actually see him normal matter red, and then
Normer Matter Red?
yeah, normer matter red.
What's a Normer one?
He's
A
getting
normer
insane.
red, yeah.
All right.
Well,
That's why the name sucks.
I still don't think the name sucks, because when people they see red or they black out, so they could continue on with the name to, let's say they wanted him to have this next evolution of a character, he could be blacker than black.
Or blackout.
Or blackout.
Or
yeah.
or it's gonna be pretty much Matter Red, mattered, like he mattered or something.
Yeah.
It sounds stupid, trust me.
Yeah,
I think it sounds
stupid.
I think it sounds pretty stupid. But I mean, character overall, it's pretty good. But I mean, even though there's a lot of good going with this, I mean, I don't know what you guys thought, but I felt like there were some bad parts as well.
I can't really see the bad parts
The
over
flow.
how. No, I can't argue
You
that.
can't argue
No,
that you got lost in the flow.
I think I
Guys,
get
guys,
lost
we're
in
not
the
like
flow.
Cowboys.
The continuity of the thing, you know, is it looks like it's three or four different timelines, and that's great. You know, Sin City did that kind of stuff where it chopped back around. The Watchmen did that kind of stuff where it jumped back around, and you kind of pieced it all together later. I'm lacking time frames. You know, since the thing is black and white, we don't know what's day, what's night, what's tomorrow, it's lacking that kind of thing to stay focused as far as like the plot and the energy that it takes Matter Red. It takes him to actually plan these things. And yes, he is saying things aloud. And there is a plot. So it makes him, in my opinion, a little bit more sane than the Joker, because he is conscious of his actions and he knows what he's trying to do and enforce. And then the end game that we already see from the very beginning is that he's trying to promote this chaos to show people how out of control they are. Like, that's his whole function. That's from what we see. You know, in the Joker's reference, it's just to entertain them. So it's a little different. You know, he does have a psychotic type of method to him, but it's more like chess. Not the game, but the character chess, where he does things.
Well, you could even relate it to the game, because I mean, he's actually thinking about the moves that he makes. Even when you see him slipping, you know, the character Matter Red, the split personality, he's even thinking ahead,
Right.
and you see that, and that's what I love about him. So.
All right, I gotta cut that off here. So, ultimately, are you guys looking forward to issue 2?
I am.
Yes.
All right, maybe.
Maybe.
Okay.
He's still on edge about it.
What?
Damn.
Would you recommend it to other people? Would you recommend it to our viewers? I know Martin would.
I will, just because the opening is so mind-numbingly brilliant. It's terrific.
brutal.
So brutal, very brutal. Don't let young children read this comic.
Unless you hate your children.
All right, Jordan.
Just throwing that out there. I'd recommend it, but you'd really have to go into it paying attention. I mean, unlike Martin over here, who's a freaking like 1,000 level genius, he was able to follow the continuity perfectly. But as for lesser humans like myself and maybe Cowboy could go along with this.
Speak
as
for
well.
yourself.
Whoa, whoa.
I said humans, not
No, just
You trying to say something?
no. Just go on.
You turn the camera off and keep this going. But I would just say try and focus, because sometimes it can get a little bit trippy with trying to figure out, well, is this a time frame? Is this happening in the present day? Is this happening in 10 years ago when he got caught? So.
All right, Cowboy.
Okay, well, we didn't state this earlier. You know, I am an artist, you know, musically as well as, you know, graphics and stuff like that. And the continuity is in question. That's what good writing is supposed to do. But at the same time, I like to see more movement from the characters. They were very rigid. In my opinion, they were very rigid. They were very stiff. It was straight up and down, a lot of dialogue, which is good. It's good to a certain extent. You know, if you're going to tell the story, that's fine. But it was just, it gave me this character as in, he doesn't stand out. You know, even though half the book is black and white and the only reason they put the red in there is for his character, it's pretty much like, hey, focus on me, and that's good. But we can do black and white books and still show a little bit of movement, a lot of mood. Like I said, Sin City references. Any Batman black and white book, it's a lot of references. We can still create moods and genres and things of that nature without having to go that far. Recommend the book. Yeah, if you want literary classics, you know, if you're into Moby Dick and Sherlock Holmes and stuff like that, recommend the book. That's fine. But
Which seems like a really weird jump. I mean, it fits with like the novel
yeah.
thing, but it just seems like a weird jump. I just want to throw that.
I would have jumped to Sherlock Holmes, maybe not Moby Dick, but that's just me.
yeah, it's
Well,
on that
Moby
front.
Dick, you can pull Moby Dick.
Moby Dick is a totally
Don't be
different
pulling your
podcast.
Moby Dick out over here.
Moby Dick
I'm not
is a different
pulling anything
podcast.
out.
Don't
man.
be pulling that on camera, man. You can do that when we're done.
All right, so since we're sort of on the topic of dark comics, I really want Martin to hear this. Guillermo del Toro is talking about directing. I'm an idiot. Justice League.
Justice League, I'm actually fine with that because, hey, we'll have a good Justice League movie at least.
But will we?
Yeah,
Guys?
we will.
Guys?
We will.
That's
because
not
it's
guaranteed.
Del Toro.
It's Del Toro.
It's
He
Del
does
Toro.
good. Okay, let me talk.
it's Del freaking
let me
Toro.
talk.
All right.
Let me talk.
Jordan can talk.
Guillermo del Toro, fantastic director. He's done incredible stuff. However, that's not to say he's had a perfect record with movies, and this may not necessarily be something that he could do well that would really sit well with comic book fans and casual. I'm not saying you because you're a freak, and that's okay.
It's okay, Martin. You'll get your response.
That's okay. But, I mean, I'll just have to wait and see because, I mean, DC, besides like the Batman trilogy as of late, has really just been a diarrhea cloud for Parallax, so.
Alright.
How do
Your
you
response?
feel about
No.
it?
I want to hear your response
Okay,
first.
you want to hear
Well,
my
actually,
response?
no. Cowboy can go
Let
first.
Cowboy go
can go
first.
first. Go ahead.
I totally despise the idea of the JLA, you know, Justice League. What I despise the idea right now because they haven't been cognitive in any aspect of actually staying with the character. First off, I'm going to say this, you know, Batman, they have yet to do any representation of an actual Batman from the comic books adaptation. They have not done it. Don't say anything about Smallville. Just scrap it. Don't say anything about Smallville at all. The concept was okay, and then season 2 happened.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with you, but I'm going to let you go.
What?
You know what I
It
mean?
was awful.
It was like
I liked that show.
We started with the idea, but see, once you change the actual basis of what a character could be, they go with that. The third point that I'm going to make real quick is, who the hell's going to play Wonder Woman? Seriously, if you say Megan
point.
Fox, I will walk over there right now.
No.
God.
Toe thumbs are not a superpower. Toe thumbs are not a superpower.
Okay.
Okay, so, my point. I think Del Toro, if we have a good script pulled together for it.
That's a
You gonna do
big thing.
Big
How are you
if.
going to do that?
I don't know
They
how
actually
we're
have
going
to
to do
get
it.
someone
So
that has
7
time.
girls together in 2 hours. That's why Thor sucks.
Right. We don't have a
No,
good
that's because we had
represent-
Gilderoy Lockhart direct the movie and just be like, hey, let's focus on Natalie Portman. She seems interesting. No.
Go ahead, man.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
we don't have a good representation right now of a JSA or a JLA.
I'd rather have a JS slate, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd rather go back to the Golden Age.
Now-
Do something different.
If we went back to the Golden Age, that would be the most brilliant film that would ever
That would be
concocted.
freaking awesome.
Because with Del Toro and a JSA movie, we'd have the moody background,
Thank you.
we'd have the deep characters,
Yes.
we'd have the plot, and we'd actually have, you know, a pretty good cast picked out for it.
And the reason why I'm adding to your point is because none of the JSA are set in stone as far as who they are, why they are, and you can actually touch bases.
Yeah, there's actually a really good melding with that, and to be honest, recently at least, I've found myself gravitating more towards any incarnation of a Justice Society than just the comic form of Justice League right now. Earth 2, that's been coming out from DC, has been fantastic. It's literally, I wasn't expecting anything from it, so I didn't pick up the first issue. And I waited until later to get the first issue, and then I read the second issue, and I saw the Flash, and it's like, you know what, costume's okay. Then I started reading, and I was just like, whoa.
I mean, until we can get a good idea.
Yeah.
Until we can get a good idea and an actual good representation of who Batman is, that's the start.
Now back to JLA. Okay.
Do we have to?
With the, I wish we didn't have to, but with JLA, if we do get a good Batman script and we have good backgrounds set up for the characters, like, think about it, a Martian Manhunter version done by Toro. It's like
that'd be really good.
No.
Have you seen any Del Toro movies?
I have, but they're gonna screw it up because they're gonna try to mock it up to like some kind of.
It's gonna be like Pan walking around.
You know what I mean?
Let's look at Pan Slabber. When he came out,
that's great. You know, and it was great for that feel.
He could pull that same feel with Martian Manhunter very easily because Martian Manhunter kind of has that same dark, mysterious past because
and that'd be great in his own movie.
It would be great in his own movie.
But
if they make a Martian Manhunter movie, dear God, I hope Del Toro directs it.
That'd be
because
awesome. That would be awesome.
Best. It would be the best story we could pull together for him.
Okay.
Now let me just say what I have to say about JLA. Now with JLA,
well, it's not technically JLA. It's just Justice League.
I'm going to disagree.
Yeah. Okay.
Just letting you know.
I don't think it can be pulled off right now because we don't have the solid storyline. DC, come out with a solid storyline! Now, what I'm going to say also is
sure
that...
DC wasn't listening.
If they do listen, I hope I don't get smited.
Well, if they are listening, the Dio, stop doing what you're doing!
Alright, let's get back on topic. Justice League.
So, with Justice League, what we could do is, even with Del Toro directing it, we'd have the moody plot, we'd have the dark, brooding plot that I think Justice League needs to get back on topic. However, I don't think there's a sufficient cast right now for it because of the lack of actors and actresses that could pull it off.
Why don't they get the guy from Hugo to play it? All of it.
Okay, here's the problem.
That'd be funny.
What's the matter with you, man? Seriously.
Just because.
Never
mind.
Which pills haven't you taken today?
Here's the problem, basically, when it comes to the whole Justice League, the movie. The fact is that we could have great writers, but they have bosses, and their bosses have bosses. And somewhere up there, those idiots sit around and try to figure out, like, how we're going to market this in the best way possible and make money. That's great. Not really. That's great. Okay, so, but comic book people like us always adapt to the animated movies, the animated films, Batman and Beyond. We always do that because they can stay true to the character, true to the mood, true to the storyline. When you get these idiots up there who go, you know what, let's cast these 7 people because, God, they look cute in tights. When you get that, and then they try to market it from everywhere from 7-year-olds to 45-year-olds and above. People that grew up reading, and it's like, well, this guy, he's got that Superman curl right in the front of his hair. Who cares if he did, like, Chinese food commercials for the last 30 years? Who cares? You know what I mean? He's got curl.
If he become Asian Superman.
All right.
Asian Superman.
So,
that'd be funny. Just say
no matter what, I saw this one YouTube video with an Asian Superman, and he was wearing these tights.
It was fantastic.
You see his jump. Yeah, I've seen the video.
Yeah.
And so
I know you were really excited about it, man.
No. But it was just the craziest thing.
You were just
so the dude that made the video walked up to him and pointed it out, and the guy was like, "Oh," and then he like fixed it real fast. But anyway, I just want to throw that out there.
If you could see it, it wasn't real.
It was the weirdest thing. Anyway, So
It was moving. It was a creature from the Black Lagoon.
You know?
Okay, if that's supposed to be a euphemism.
But we're all gonna go see it no matter what, right? I'm pretty sure that we're all gonna see
I
it.
am
Even if we hear bad things about it.
I still went and saw. I still went and saw Green Lantern, and that had
Same.
Parallax in a diarrhea cloud of
Yeah.
doom and death.
I will.
Parallax was terrible.
Unless it's like already
Green Lantern was
bootleg
terrible.
in my DVD player,
It
and
happens to be
playing,
there.
then like I will make an effort to see it. You know, I'm still like debating on the whole cast, the whole thing. Like right now, I'm protesting. I'm already got signs in my trunk. I'm protesting already the idea of it because it's supposed to be. They said 2014.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
way too soon for a movie like that to come out.
Really?
Way
That-
too
that
soon.
is-
The only
You know what I mean?
idea about it that I like is Guillermo del Toro. That's the only part of it I
You know,
like.
well, that's the only part that you like. That's not a valid
Well, that's
reason
'cause
for
that's-
that movie to
it's
come
the
out in
greatest point.
2014.
Right, it's not. It's too rushed.
You know,
like,
Steven Spielberg produced some. You know, every now and then too.
E.T. and
Okay,
Extraterrestrial.
We're moving on. We're moving on. Spider-Man just released on DVD today. How did you guys like the new one?
I loved it. It was a romance for the ages. No, I actually
Fun.
did like. I like the.
You're just like, get out.
I'll leave.
I like
No,
the
you were telling
Spider-Man. Yeah, I like the Spider-Man better for one reason, and the one reason was
Because yeah.
because he was actually smart. He actually acted, and he was better looking than the other Spider-Man. So
Somebody have a man crush on the new Spidey?
I sure do.
Oh, swing, swing. Well, I mean, you liked it like that, but I mean, there were parts of it I liked, and other parts that I didn't like. Emma Stone, definitely liked. Okay, if someone tries to tell me that Kirsten Dunst is a hotter comparison for Mary Jane Watson, I'll probably throw them off the Empire State Building because that's just a lie.
I just gotta
And
say,
pray
I
they
actually,
have spider powers.
No, they won't have spider powers. I'll make sure.
I just gotta say, I actually saw this list today on IMDb. I was looking at what other movies the guy that played the new Spider-Man had been in, and nothing that important.
Well, he was in an
just
episode of Doctor Who.
2 episodes.
Two episodes of
But,
Doctor Who.
but that doesn't matter. So under the
Of course, he was in Social Network.
oh yeah, he wasn't that.
Yeah, in case just a little movie that came out, that made a lot of money.
I didn't even see
Yeah.
it. So
Well,
but anyway, under his name and all this other crap, there was a list, and it said like 100 of the ugliest actors and actresses, and Emma Stone was like number 3.
okay. That list just became invalidated because I'm pretty sure that they're also trying to say that the greatest actor of all time is Keanu Reeves. I mean,
He is. I'm just kidding.
excuse me. Does someone need to get the short list?
Harrison Ford. There.
That's a man crush for you.
What? He's Han Solo.
I'm not debating that.
Okay, off topic. Go
Sorry.
ahead, Jordan, if you want to finish.
Okay, yeah, I want to finish. It really felt like it was just a color swatch. They pretty much took the Dark Knight, moved him out, and put Spider-Man in there because Amazing Spider-Man was more gritty, of course, yeah. The cast overall, yes, I like the cast better than the original one overall. But I think that if they would have taken that cast, put them into the first 2 Raimi movies, maybe changed a couple of things around, I think it would have been a better movie. I didn't think this was really that great of a movie, and I'm pretty much on the side of not really seeing the hype behind it. I still would think for the summer, Avengers was a way better movie.
Was there somebody that said that Spider-Man was better? Better than the Avengers.
Okay, that's
Okay,
debatable.
okay.
You are never going to be cast on this on here again.
Now, I can't argue that Avengers...
No, you
No,
won't
I
argue that
can't-
Avengers is better.
Correction, I can't argue that Spider-Man was better than Avengers
Because it wasn't.
because
Because
I
let him
loved the Avengers so much. Now, I think the Avengers movie, with all the hype behind it, was better. And just because of the way that they put it together, marketed it, the way they shot it, pretty much everything about it made it a better movie than the Spider-Man movie. But,
Show me the Carfax.
show me the Carfax.
Okay,
Yeah.
Avengers doesn't matter. What
Yes,
did you
it
think
does.
about Spider-Man?
Okay.
I mean, it does.
It
but you know what I'm
does,
saying.
but not in this conversation.
Okay.
All right. What I think about the Amazing Spider-Man, best video game ever. No, seriously.
And you're just going,
Okay, wait a minute.
No,
You're trying to say a movie licensed game
Actually,
is
I'm
the
not
best
talking-
video
the
game
video
ever.
game, actually, are you talking about the
I'm
new
not
game?
talking about the actual video game. I'm talking about, because that's exactly what the movie looked like. The flips, the stunts, and everything, the action. Would have been a great game. You know, but...
It really wasn't that good of a game.
Right.
It was a movie licensed game.
Right.
See,
Apparently it wasn't.
Like, for the longest time, I was imagining, like, a first-person Spider-Man
right.
would be, like, the coolest
That
thing. Like,
was
have,
one
like,
of
this
the best.
Bioshock thing
No,
going
I
on.
wouldn't want a first-person Spider-Man because I wouldn't want to be able to see my rocking body swinging through the air, okay? I'm sorry, I'm kind of an egotist.
Okay, well...
Yes, you are.
I am, but I mean, how can you not?
I'm going with first-person Spidey. Don't hit me again.
Right.
I'm not hitting
It was a
him.
great
Hang on.
idea.
Yes, we'll let Cowboy finish.
It was awesome concept. It was a great idea. I do like it was like Peter Parker in Die Hard. I like that aspect. The lizard absolutely sucked.
Yes.
I'm just gonna let that be clear and throw that out there. Once again,
I
once
couldn't
you get
stand
off,
the lizard.
once
The
you
lizard-
get off the fact of the history of the actual villain. Once you get away from that, once you get away from how the villain actually became, I mean, that's what the first two actually did very well.
Yeah.
And that's
They
what
were
made,
setting him up to be the lizard, though.
Right.
That whole time, they were setting him up slowly to be the lizard.
Yeah, and when you got there, what?
No payoff because
No,
the third movie sucked.
Nothing. It's like picking up a nasty fat chick and ugly as hell in the club in the dark.
It's like
and
you
then when
didn't
you
have
get
a couple
home, it's like,
Saturdays.
oh crap.
It's just like the
You
fat
don't-
girl in the club
you
in
don't
Amazing
see-
Spider-Man. There are things jiggling that shouldn't be
You
jiggling
don't
in this
see
movie.
it until you get there,
You're
and then when you
mantis.
get to see the
Do
lizard,
what?
it's
You're
like, oh,
mantis.
that's horrible.
No,
That's why I was kidding, Joey.
see, you love my mantis.
But you
even
know,
if I do that.
I won't say that.
I think that Maguire guy played a better Peter Parker. I really think he did. You know,
I can't
you
defend
gonna
that.
agree with me?
I think he
I'm
played.
going to agree with a better acting
I
role.
think he played a better Peter Parker. You know,
Tobey
I don't think he
Maguire
played a
wants me
better
to saw my
Spider-Man.
foot off with a
You
rusty
know what I mean?
saw.
I don't think he played a better Spider-Man because Spider-Man is supposed to be quirky and funny, and this guy pulled that part off. But the
Only
Peter
for a little
Parker, nerdy aspect, dorky kind of to himself and responsible for his actions type of thing, I'm going with McGuire on that. Just like
I
With
can
the
actually see
origin.
where he's coming from.
You
With
know,
the origin part, he actually was able to get back, and it really followed the comic pretty true.
Right.
With him dropping the whole thing and not even catching the guy, I mean, sure, I can understand
Well,
that.
that's
But
an
it
action.
really ate at me, that whole movie. I was like, why can't he get this guy? Okay, sure, I know it's a retread of old territory, but I mean, if you're not going to have Bruce Campbell in this movie, at least do that right.
right, that's what I'm getting at. You know, and in reference, you know, they've never had a good, like, once again, Batman character. Either somebody's played good Bruce Wayne, but never good Batman. You know, so it's like one of the
Disagreement.
two.
Disagreement. Michael,
disagree.
I'm not doing great voice Batman. Okay?
Disagree.
What you do in your free time is different. Anyway, Michael Keaton played a really good Bruce Wayne and Batman. He was intimidating as Batman, and he still seemed like an everyman as Bruce Wayne. And you wouldn't expect it.
Sorry.
Don't interrupt me
He
with
did
Christian
okay.
Bale's horrible voice.
He did it okay. He did it okay as Bruce Wayne.
No,
He
he
did
did,
okay.
better in comparison to the other people that played Bruce Wayne. Think about it this way, in comparison to the
All right,
newest one.
We went all the way from Marvel's Spider-Man to DC's Batman. So I'm cutting that.
Okay.
We're done with Batman. So Star Wars is now bought by Disney.
Okay, I
said.
am both happy and sad about this. I'm happy because we're going to have new directors into the system. I'm also happy because we're going to have back all of the old cast. I'm also happy because we're going to finally get to see their kids. If you haven't read the books, go out, read the books.
Now-
Heir to the Empire is terrific.
You're referencing to the, what is it, the Thrawn trilogy, right?
The Thrawn trilogy is the first trilogy after episode 4 through
I have a great
4 through 6.
I have a great
yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan twist for you right
Oh
here.
god.
No,
It's not the Thrawn trilogy. The Star Wars representative already announced that like a week ago.
I know. They said it's going to be their own feature-length movie.
Yeah, so it's not going to be Thrawn now.
I know, but what they're going to do is they're going to go and reintroduce all the characters to the new generation. And if they stick true to the story, I think this will be a brilliant partnership. However, if they don't, I will never buy a single Star Wars figure again.
That's pretty harsh words, man, because you buy a lot of Star Wars figures.
I do buy a lot of Star Wars figures.
And yet girls still talk to you. That's really shocking.
I'm
Alright.
charming.
The writer was actually also revealed. It's the same guy that did Hunger Games, Catching Fire. That's not even out yet. So
The one who wrote the script for it?
the screenwriter, yeah.
Does he have any?
But he also wrote Little Miss Sunshine, which that won a ton of awards, and that was actually
Yeah,
pretty
right. It
decent.
did win a ton of awards, and it was.
You didn't?
No, I worked in a theater and still didn't see it.
You really didn't see Little Miss Sunshine?
Absolutely.
I actually didn't see Little Miss Sunshine. I just heard good things about it.
Okay.
It
I
made
just
me
thought it was
laugh.
too. I thought it was.
I thought it was a great
It made me cry. It made me feel emotions.
And that's
Don't
try
exactly
to
why I
pretend to be
didn't see it.
No, it was good.
And then I
saw
threw
this.
it away because I'm like, well,
I need space for
Yeah.
Halo 4.
Yeah, essentially.
All right.
Yo.
Do you guys want to talk about Halo 4? Have you all played it?
Oh,
Nah.
Cinematic masterpiece.
I want to touch the Star Wars thing there for a second.
Okay.
Let's
right,
go
right.
back
Sorry,
to
I
Star Wars.
I forgot to give you your
I
turn.
want to touch Star Wars thing for a second. I'm a little bit tossed up left and right for that thing.
Yeah.
You know, I hate the idea. I really do. I despise the idea. Not because that Disney's not worthy and can't be capable of it, but if I have to, God knows, sit through freaking Star Wars on ice.
There's gonna be like
I swear
8
to
Jar
God,
Jar Binks in this.
I'm gonna kill somebody.
Georgia!
I'm gonna kill somebody. You know, but the good aspect is, you know, Kingdom Hearts possibly having like
If we have a Kingdom Hearts
Thank you.
Star Wars
Thank you.
crossover, I will cry the tears of the
Thank you.
angels.
Now that
Oh,
they
probably.
And we don't
now
want the Avengers in it.
Now
We don't
that
want
they
the
have
Avengers
Marvel-
also.
Yeah, that would be like fapping to heaven.
Now that they have
Yeah.
Marvel and Star Wars,
Literally.
they need a Kingdom Hearts on the PS3
Yeah.
and actually do this right. I will. We've made a discussion, we've joked about it, but you know, at least $50 worth of that game would be walking in on Sephiroth, you know, getting ready to square off against Darth Vader. Like,
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
that's
That
worth-
would be just wicked.
I just need 3 minutes of that cinematics and I'll buy it.
No,
That's it.
I really just want to
Pay
fight
attention.
Keyblade versus lightsaber.
That's it.
That's what I
You
want.
would really
That would be
win.
awesome. Could you
Thank
imagine? That would tilt the universe.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
the
you.
Keyblade and lightsaber would be cool.
Thank
but
you.
I think this is gonna kind of wrap it up. So
All right, we're good now.
All right,
I
I'm
guess
just letting
we'll-
you know.
this was Jordan, our DC and Marvel expert. This was Martin, our indie expert, and this is our token black guy, Cowboy.
Right.
Thank you for watching.